What's up guys, Alex from FIFA Scouting Tips here, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 9 of Pompey Youth Stars. We have this game against Fulham. Just before we do that, don't forget the Scouting Goal contest. We've only got a couple of days left on that. It ends on the 31st of July, so make sure you enter that soon if you're planning to. All the details will be at the end of the video. So we have this game against Fulham. I have put the difficulty on World Class if you remember, but changed the sliders. So for example, the AI shots are now incredibly powerful, so it means they're really dangerous as soon as they come forward. So let's see if we can get a good result. I'm feeling quite confident in this. I feel like we can get a decent result against Fulham, so let's see if we can do that. Well, unfortunately I started really poorly, Fulham just tearing me apart and blasting the ball into the top corner. I've spoken in previous episodes about how powerful these shots are, and that was just unstoppable. They kept on mounting the pressure, just cutting through me with absolute ease, and I was so lucky that they didn't manage to score this one. When I checked the replay I realised that their player's foot got caught on Ajay Boateng, so lucky they didn't get a penalty or even a goal from it. I was just so fortunate to get away with that one, but Fulham were determined to score another goal, even when they weren't doing well. Like, my players just couldn't tackle, they couldn't get anywhere near them, and it was only when they ran into my defender that I managed to get the ball back. But they had more and more shots. Opportunistic shot from outside of the box, it just went wide, but this half was all about Fulham. Whenever I did have an opportunity, it just came to nothing. If you see here, Garassi had a golden opportunity to head the ball, and he just did nothing, just ran underneath it. He had an even better opportunity soon after though, managed to beat the defender one-on-one with the keeper, but he put it wide, didn't even manage to hit the target. I just couldn't believe I didn't do better from that opportunity. Then another opportunity did come my way though. Quinton put in a great cross, and despite me smashing the shoot button, Bong insisted on taking a touch, and as a result it meant he got tackled. If he only volleyed it first time like I was telling him to, that surely would have been a goal, but he just took a touch and it was too late by that point. From the resulting corner, Very had a header, but over it went, he couldn't keep it down. Came in at half time, and Fulham had 63% of the possession. It was all about them in that half. They had 4 shots and 3 on target. I only had 1 shot on target in the entire half. I just could not get the ball back off them. They were just, basically I was just sitting in my half the entire half, so I just couldn't get forward at all. It's very frustrating. Came out in the second half, and it was even more frustrating because every time I tried to make a tackle, the ball just bounced back to them and they just resumed and tried another attack. It was like it was pointless really, and when I tried to go on the attack, I just couldn't even pass to my own players. It was just not working at all for me. They had a golden opportunity to go another goal ahead, but luckily for me they could only hit the post from it. Very fortunate for me. And then when I tried to attack, good work from Garassi, but they had so many men back I just couldn't get through. Another golden opportunity came their way, and again they hit the post, so once again I was so lucky not to go another goal behind. The final opportunity of the game fell to Bong, doing a typical Bong run, just steaming past the defenders, but he just could not keep his shot on target. That was about his only opportunity of pretty much of the whole game, and then the ref blew the whistle and I came in 1-0 losers. Unfortunately I accidentally skipped past the stat screen, so I just managed to capture this one. I hope you guys can read it. It says there's 61% possession for Fulham at the end of the game to my 39%. I was just played off the park completely. They had 10 shots and 6 of them on target. I only had 3 shots in the entire game and only 1 on target. I just was not in this game at all. Whenever I tried to get the ball back off Fulham, they just got it back off me straight away. I just couldn't get past the defence at all either. I just may as well not have turned up. It was that frustrating. I just was not in the game at all. It was all about Fulham. It was just a very, very aggravating game, unfortunately. So we did lose 1-0, but it could have been a lot higher. They hit the post twice and had numerous opportunities. So at the end of the day, 1-0 was probably better than I deserved. Well, I'm going to have to change some of the sliders because that game just made me want to kill myself. I think I'm going to have to turn down the shot speed for the CPU because there's just no way that their shots can be stopped. They're so accurate and they're so powerful. Not even Doherty can get anywhere near them. It's just ridiculous. Every time they get into the box, you can pretty much guarantee it is a goal. So it's just so hard just to stop those. Goalkeeper ability, I'm going to keep that the same. Marking, I'm going to turn that down as well because I just couldn't do anything. Like, these games are just becoming frustrating to play, and they're not going to yield many highlights either just because I can't create opportunities for myself. So I'm going to turn that down a bit. I think everything else is okay as it is. Shot error for the CPU, fairly accurate, that's fine. As long as they're just not like rockets anymore. I think pass speed is fine. Yeah, I don't mind those being the same, just I needed to change those 2 things because it's not enjoyable doing these games when I just know that there's nothing I can do. I just cannot beat these teams. So we're just going to try it like that and see if that makes much of a difference. Right, so we've had this message from David Brown saying that he's declined his contract and there's no option to go to the contract screen. So what this is, basically, he's saying his contract length has not been met. And if we go to the contracts, we can see that he already has a 5-year contract, 4 years and 7 months. So basically, I can't offer any longer than that. I can't make his contract any longer than 5 years. So it automatically turns the offer down no matter what the contract was like. So basically, I can't give him a pay rise and he's unhappy. So hopefully that's not going to cause a problem going forward. Hopefully, when his contract runs down next year, I can offer him a better contract and he won't be so unhappy. Hopefully that's going to be okay and he's not going to ask to leave or anything. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Speaking of contracts, Dylan Quinton's just come to me saying that he wants increased wages. So let's go and have a look at that. Right, he's currently on £500 and he wants £15,000 and we only have £4,000 in the wage budget. We do have $1 million or 1.4 million in the transfer budget, so if we try adjusting the sliders a bit, hopefully we can get enough wages to pay him. We'll have to see though, because that's quite a massive increase. Okay, so I've changed the transfer budget ratio. As you can see, it's made quite a bit of a difference. We now have £900,000 in the transfer budget, but we have £15,000 to pay him. What I've experienced myself previously is if you basically don't match what they say, they want to quit. There's not really any leeway. You can't pay them slightly less, they just won't accept it, and he's a really important player for the team, so I don't want him to leave. So I'm just going to have to offer that. Luckily the January transfer window is just around the corner, so hopefully we can sell some players and make some money back, but let's see if he accepts that one. Right, next up we've got Norwich in the Premier League. We are away as well, so let's see if those slider changes made any difference at all. Hopefully they will have done, and it'll be a little bit less frustrating, hopefully. I started the brightest in this game, Lodigan playing a fantastic ball over the top towards Bong, who I told him to shoot, and unfortunately he went for a header for some reason. I was sure that if he went for a volley it would have been a better effort, but it wasn't long before the frustration kicked in. Norwich with their first shot on target, and in it went, my defence just sitting off and letting them shoot, but luckily I managed to respond instantly. Some disastrous defending at the back from Norwich allowed Bennett in to just slide the ball into the net. Such a lucky goal already, pretty dirty goal, but I wasn't going to complain because it got me back into the game. I was now level pegging with Norwich at 1-1. Really fortunate goal for me, but that brought Bennett up to 2 for the season. It just shows how reliant I am on Bong with the amount of goals that he scores. Unfortunately, he came in at half-time with nothing else really happening in that half. Each team had one shot on target, pretty equal possession, and that was because Norwich just sat back and absorbed my attacks. I just could not get through them at all. They were just taking the ball off me every time I came forward, and nothing else really happened in that half. They managed to come up first in the second half with a decent effort, but they couldn't get it on target. But then there was a moment of madness. Just look at this tackle here in the bottom corner. Really dodgy, but I couldn't believe what happened next.
What the hell? They just sent him off. What? What the hell?
Unbelievable stuff really, and from the resulting free kick, a great through ball to Zimmerman, but unfortunately he smashed it wide. It was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. Then another moment of madness from Norwich. What was that all about? Just chipping the ball back towards their keeper, almost scoring a spectacular own goal. I have no idea why that happened. It wasn't until stoppage time till Bong had his first real opportunity, but a good block from the defender stopped it going on target. From the resulting corner, they managed to clear it, and then the ref blew the whistle, and that was about it for the game. Unfortunately, it was a very negative game, pretty dull unfortunately, and like I said earlier, that was because Norwich just sat back and absorbed my attacks. They only had one shot on target in the entire game and it had gone in. I had 4 shots and only 2 of them on target, so I wasn't a huge amount better, but at least I was trying to attack. They were just sitting back, had no intention of going forward and trying to attack. They were quite happy to just play for the 1-1 draw. Really kind of frustrating game, because unlike before against Fulham when I was dominated, this time I felt like I had a chance, but Norwich were just denying me every opportunity. Bennett with a 7.7 rating was pretty good. Winter with 7.2 was okay, but no one else really played that well, so I didn't deserve to win, to be honest, but I felt like I played better than Norwich, who just had no intention of going for anything positive at all. So a pretty frustrating draw in the end, 1-1 with Norwich. Okay, so a piece of good news, we have had Dylan Quinton accepting his contract offer, so that is good to see. His wage packet is a bit higher, well, let's be honest, it is really high now, but hopefully that'll keep him happy and he won't want to leave, especially with the January transfer window coming up soon. Okay, let's have a quick look at our youth academy. First up we have Charlie Essen, 74 to 80 potential striker. Then Craig Lucas, 72 to 84 potential left winger. Then Daniel Gallagher, so far the cream of the crop in the youth academy, 85 to 94 potential striker, looking absolutely amazing. Can't wait to start using him. I feel like I've had some really good luck with Scotland so far. Obviously I had Doherty in goal, Paulett as well, who is probably my best player in terms of overall, and Brown in goal as well. Then we have Daniel Gallagher here in the youth academy too, so I've found some really good players in Scotland. Seems to have been a good place for me so far. Then we have Esteban Navarro, 80 to 86 potential right winger. Then Fernando Monzon, 71 to 75 potential left back. Then Fraser Layden, another amazing Scottish player, 82 to 92 potential defensive midfielder, another one who I can't wait to promote, but he's still got another year left of growth, so he's going to be even better pretty soon. Then John Mahoney, 69 to 77 potential left winger. Then Juan Torres, 74 to 80 potential right back. Then Martin DeWitt, 73 to 79 potential central midfielder. And then finally Robin Brzezinski, 72 to 90 potential. Not really sure where he plays yet, probably going to be attacking midfield I think from that. But it hasn't narrowed down much yet, but still he looks pretty good in terms of his potential. So that is how our youth academy is looking this month. So up next we have this game against Stoke, but I have run out of time, I'm afraid, so I'll have to do that in the next episode. I am going to be honest with you guys, I'm feeling really frustrated with these games. They're not fun to play, it's not really something I'm looking forward to doing because they're just so frustrating, so hard to get the ball back off the opposition, so hard to break them down when I'm going forward. I just can't seem to score at the moment, and when I lose the ball they go forward and they have such powerful shots that they just seem to go in all the time. So it's just a really frustrating experience at the moment. It just kind of feels like, I've said it before and I'll say it again, it kind of feels like this game just isn't really ready to be releasing. It wasn't finished, there's so many little errors and little gameplay bugs and things that go on that make it really frustrating to try and play. So it's just very difficult. If you guys have any tips on what to do to make it a bit more fun, not necessarily easy, but something where I just feel like at least I can get the ball or something, I don't know, because I don't want you guys to get turned off this series because there's not many highlights in the game, so I want you guys to make sure you're still enjoying it. So make sure you tell me what you want me to do with it, because I try and make sure it's as good as possible and that you guys are enjoying yourselves watching these episodes as well. So if you've got any ideas for that sort of thing, leave them in the comments below. Also, don't forget the scouting goal contest. It's on North American players this month. You've only got a couple of days left because it ends on the 31st of July. So if you found a really good American, Mexican or Canadian player aged 18 or under, take a picture when they are in the youth academy or just after they've been promoted. Try and make sure there's no stat growth with them if possible, just to keep it fair for everybody else. You can then send that picture to @FIFA Scouting on Twitter using the hashtag ScoutingGod, or you can send it to facebook.com/FIFA Scouting Tips, or you can leave a link to the image in the comments below, or even submit it on FIFAscoutingtips.com. Loads of ways of doing that, but like I said, you've only got a couple of days left, so make sure you get your entries in soon. And like I said, that'll just end soon, so I can announce the winners in a few days' time. I'm also doing a survey. You may have heard, you probably have done, I've said it a few times. I'm doing a survey on what I can do next on my YouTube channel and what I can do next on FIFAscoutingtips.com. If there's anything you want me to do, anything you don't want me to do, that kind of stuff, make sure you fill that out. It'll only take a few seconds at your time. There'll be a link in the description below for you guys. So keep all your comments coming. Leave a like as well if you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Good opportunity, but again, another massive Bong hit after the last game. Bong getting a huge elbow in the face there. I don't know what it is about him, but he seems to be a marked man.